What's going on, people? It's your main man, Johnny Clutch Cards, back again with another Blokpax video. And in this video, I know you've seen by the title, it was, something about, how to get free cards, free sports cards. And we're going to talk about that today because what you're seeing right here in front of you is Blokpax. And Blokpax creates a bunch of digital products and games based off of NFTs or in the NFT space. I've talked about them plenty of times before. I've been a geek in the Blokpax community for, let's say, about 4 years, 3 or 4 years, like right around COVID, when COVID started. So yeah, 44 years, 4 years. So 2021 or 2022, somewhere in there. I think 2021. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What you're seeing here, and you can go check some of my older videos if it's first time. If this is your first time joining us here on this channel, we talk all things collectibles, NFTs, real physical collectibles like sports cards, and yeah. And so we collect, we go out to card shows, and we just try to be good people within the community and try to meet other good people in the community and just try to collect the things we love and help others collect the things that they love. At any rate, like, share, and subscribe, and let's jump right into it. So here we are on the screen for what just concluded on Wednesday. You see March 19th, this concluded. This was round 5 of the Snap Games. And what the Snap Games are, if you don't know, is basically tied into their main line of NFTs, which are called Hometown Heroes, or HTH. HTH. I'm gonna leave a link in the video if you want to learn more about HTH. If you want to join the Discord, meet the community members, feel free to click the link, join the community, chat it up with people. The people in there are super duper nice, and they definitely are helpful to newbies. Anyway, so what you see in front of you is HTH. Currently, we're on, as you can see up here, we're on Hometown Heroes Basketball 2024 Drop 2. So what they do is they create these NFTs. These NFTs are inspired by real NBA players. For instance, Chetmate, as you might think, is Chet Holmgren. I don't know. Castler is Stephen Castle. Cicada, I know, is Cade Cunningham. Shot Step is SGA. Green Machine is Jalen Green, so forth and so on. There's like a LaBoss. Ant Hill is Ant-Man, things of this nature. So they have the initial drop. They had the initial drop to, I want to say, back in January. And you were able to cop. And similar to like Prism sets, there are different colors. There's like commons, and then there's all these different colorways. And then when the Snap Games start, what happens is based on randomly how many NFTs you have or how many commons you have, you are eligible to receive one of, in the first round, 256 purple shatters. So it starts off with purple shatters at 256, then it moves to lime shatters at 128. No, not 128. It's like 64, I think it's 256, 64, 16, 4, and then 1, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Anyway, we'll double check it later on. I'll leave a link down below where you can actually look at it. So these games concluded, and I got down to the 4th round, and I had these pinks remaining. I had a Chetmate, Biohazard, a Titanium. You can see I own one here, So I had one of about 7 different ones, and then as you can see down here, there are a whole bunch of them. And each one of these cards is at the end, out of these 4, it was going to go down to 1. That one person would get the white shatter, right, which would complete the shatter rainbow, but they also win the grand prize. In this particular case right here is a SGA PSA 9 auto. And if you click here, like that's a Jordan Love Panini Prism PSA 10. This is a Justin Fields. This is a Cristiano Ronaldo. This is a SGA. That's a SGA. SGA was popular, it looks like, this time. That's a Stephen Curry. We got Devin Booker. I think that's base Devin Booker. Jimmy Butler, PSA 9. I have that Jimmy Butler, not ungraded. Mickey Mantle, 1958. Brock Purdy, contenders. There's a CJ Stroud. And there's a Ellie De La Cruz auto, right? So forth and so on. So you get the picture, right? So basically, we go over what basically runs over probably like a week and a half, where they do a cut every other day. That's actually more like 2 cuts in one, right? So there's 4 total cuts. There's four total cut. Purple, lime, orange, pink, white, right? So there's four cuts. Yeah, there's 5 total cuts, but 4 cuts that lead up to the final cut, right? And then in the final cut, you can either get the white shatter and the grand prize, or you get nothing. And hopefully you had that pink the whole time. Now in between those 2 days in between, you can do a whole bunch of trading and things of that nature to try to increase your chances to win. I want to go to Discord right quick. Can I open Discord, please? Let's see what we got here. As you can see, I've been pretty busy here in the chat doing a lot of negotiating. All right. So let me go to the schedule here. Here was the schedule, all right? So round 1 was March 10th, was purple. Lime was March 12th. Orange was March 14th. Pink was March 17th. And then the championship was the 19th, right? So all that went down, all that happened, all that occurred. And we got to this portion where we had these 7. We lost 5 of our 7. And so we just stuck with those pinks. But then we won this grand prize, which is a Disney Lorcana Rapunzel, the first chapter, PSA 10. I have no clue. If you like Disney cards, holla at your boy. I got something for you. And I won an SGA, red, white, and blue prism as well. So with that being said, I was able to then on the back side. So these, in essence, are free cards that I won, right? Free sports cards that I won during this particular contest. But still tied to the collecting aspect of the HTH. So what we're going to do here, I think, okay. Yeah, we're going to jump here into my collection. Now let's take a look at these HTHs up close and personal. All right, let's go to HTH first. Then we'll talk about that. So if we go back here, Checkmate Biohazard and Checkmate Titanium. We're just going to do it in general. We can do it like this. We'll do it by parallel. White shatter. Pink shatter. Orange. Lime. Now, as you can see, okay, right there, once I add in lime, I got just over 2 pages. We're going to focus this on drop 2, so we can shrink this down. It might go back down to 1 page. Yeah, okay, so 1 page. So as you can see, I have, let's add in the purple. So let's take a look at them now. Like, okay, you see I had a pretty good amount of green. Had a pretty good amount of green. Then the orange got real shaky, right? And the orange and the pink look like they're about equal, right? And then I got a couple whites in there for the 2 I won. There's a checkmate there. There's other checkmate here, and that's the complete rainbow once I add in the purple shatters. Purple shatters should push it to 2 pages because I had a really good amount of purple shatters. I had purple shatter. I had a whole bunch of purple shatters. So I was hoping that things was going to really work out for me in here because I had a whole gang of purple shatters to try to get there and win some prizes. But it's always fun. And then as you can see, in the chat up there, here in the snap trading, right? So if you go back here, these is post win stuff. So here in this particular chat, this is where you come in here and you be like, oh, I got XYZ purples. I want to trade them off, this, that, or the third. But what I've noticed, and those of you who are in Blokpax can either agree or deny. But from my perspective, like in this version, this iteration of Snap Games, is a lot different from the original Raz because there's a collectability aspect of it. In order, so because you're getting a HTH collectible, color collectible, as you move on, it makes it worth your while to kind of hold to see if you can get the whole rainbow, right? Because what happens with HTH is there's a point system that awards you miles, right? So if we go here, you see up here, I got 119,000 miles. These miles are tied back to a token called BPX, right? And BPX is the currency of the Blokpax ecosystem. So if we come in here to our drips, right? Drips grow based on the collectability. So here's the 23 collectibles that I had and the drip that is generating. Keep in mind that I didn't put together any kind of sets or anything like that. I just really kind of just bought some portion of my allocation and then just kind of held or traded a little bit, but I didn't really go hard like I'm kind of going right now for basketball 2024, right? I didn't collect any baseball or football in 2024. I was kind of like out of the whole equation here. But as you can see, my miles generate every day and they become claimable. So right now I have 7,600 claimable miles. I have 90,000 remaining drip on these assets here that should accumulate here, and I'll be able to claim it. I already did a video on how to claim your drip and get it added to your overall miles total. So I'll leave a link for that. If you're interested, leave me a comment down below if you need help with that, or hit me up in the Discord. Everywhere I'm Johnny Collects Cards, Instagram, Discord, TikTok. Yeah, so just hit your boy up, and I'm more than happy to help out. And then the next thing you might say, okay, well, what can you do with these miles? Do you just turn them back to money? Do they go up and down? So BPX does fluctuate from time to time. You can buy BPX here on this. You can buy miles, my bad, here on the site if you want to. But it's much easier to go into the community and get a better transfer rate based on the BPX token. So some of the things that we can do is we can come in and look at our let's go back to our collection here. So just looking at these right here, I can always go here just into basketball, list it. Let's say I wanted to try to complete some more rainbows, right? And I wanted to see if anybody's selling a white shatter. Let's see. All right, so there's 2 white shatters for sale, a Java Lanch and a processor, 19,000 miles, right? I got 119,000 miles, so I could buy that. Right now, the going rate for miles is somewhere between $200 per 100,000 and $250 per 100,000. Somewhere in there, somewhere in there, it's fluctuated, but it's been in that area for like the last few weeks. So, so white shatters. Let's see if there's any pink shatters. Okay, there's a pink shatter up. So I could buy these to help build out my rainbows. And then once points begin to generate, because all these are tied back to a particular player and their performance, like Java Lanch, for instance, is Jamal Murray, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's tied back to their performance. So kind of like fantasy sports to some degree, right? The better you do, the more miles your character generates, and then depending on what type of rainbows or collections of those players you have, you get more or less of the miles allocated to that particular player, right? So it's kind of complicated, but it's not. I think once you get into the actual community, you can actually pick it up pretty quick, pretty fast. But you just saw my free cards, right? The free cards, the 2 I won. So let's go look at the other cards. The other cards that I have, right? So we're gonna take a look at the other cards, because after the final round, I was able to kind of negotiate some deals and acquire some additional cards here. As you can see, there's a Willie Mays, a Michael Jordan, there's another Jordan. I bought this on the auction. That Cristiano Ronaldo that we saw earlier, somebody else wanted, we were able to acquire it. Dennis Rodman, patch auto, Giannis rookie, Josh rookie. I got this off of auction. This is one of the ones I won. This is one that I won a few snaps ago, probably last year. Joe Burrow, we purchased Joe Burrow outright. We purchased Herbert outright. We traded for this Scotty. No, actually, we purchased that one outright. Julio, we purchased. Wembanyama was a part of one of those deals. So was Luka, Otani, and Lee. So there you are. These are all cards. And so right now you see these cards as icons, but they are all being stored in the Blokpax vault where they're safe and sound. And whenever I decide I want them, I can click on them, or I can click on just one of them or several of them, click that redeem button, click redeem, and within 24 to 48 hours, they are shipping me the physical cards to my home. So if you're curious about Blokpax, curious about how to get free cards, curious about the community, leave a comment down below. I'll leave a link in the description of the video. And check it out, right? You can win free cards. Or if you just like another community to be able to go to outside of your local card show or your local card shop, if you don't have those facilities where you stay, you can always join a community like Blokpax and get acclimated and have really, it's really kind of fun. In addition, they launched a card game called Wonders of the First. They're having their inaugural event, the Shattering, I believe it's called, and they're all in South Carolina right now. Playing it up, opening up these cards, having a really good time. So shout out to Frenchie, shout out to the whole team, my man Infinite, all those guys. Always cool to hang out with them. When we hung out maybe 2 or 3 years ago in 2022. And maybe this year I'll go to the National. That would be great, right? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't you guys like to see me make some national content? Anyway, as always, I'm your main man, Judging Clutch Cards. I am always for the people, by the people. You only got me and the client too. Here we go. Come on.
too